Charlie gave her a relieved look from a distance, but at this time, his heart was already murderous. "Junwei Gao, I will kill you today." Immediately, Charlie didn't say anything, and immediately handcuffed his hands with handcuffs, then raised his hands high and said coldly, "Are you satisfied?" Junwei Gao laughed. Jianjun Gao walked into the yard with a pistol, pointed the gun at Charlie, and said coldly, "Come in." Charlie said blankly, "Just enter." After all, walked into the villa. Junwei Gao is extremely excited. He has been looking forward to this moment these days, looking forward to the moment when he can cut his enemies. "Didn't you, Charlie, pretend to be forced? Don't you know Mr. Orville? Didn't you throw me out the window? Now I want your life." Charlie stepped into the house and immediately saw Claire, so he said apologetically, "Claire, I'm sorry, I'm late." Seeing Charlie rushing to save herself, Claire's heart was shocked and happy, worried and afraid. However, she didn't know why. At this moment, Charlie's figure was so tall and safe to her. Claire suddenly wept bitterly and said, "My husband." Elaine, who was kicked to the ground, woke up suddenly, crawling over to hold Charlie's thigh and crying, saying, "Charlie, my good son-in-law, you are here to save Mom. If you come one step later, Mom is not guaranteed for the late festival." As she said, she pointed at Junwei Gao and his son, and cried out, "Don't you know, Junwei Gao, this beast, lied to me to confess to Claire and asked me to ask her to come here. In the end, he not only wanted bullying Claire, but he still has ideas for me. You said that if there is something wrong with you, what will you do in the future?" Charlie frowned. He understood that the reason why his wife had such a thing was all the fault of the mother-in-law. At this moment, he was so angry that he even wanted to slap this snobby mother-in-law to death. However, he also knew that now is not the time to teach Elaine. The most important thing is to solve the father and son Junwei Gao and Jianjun Gao first. Thinking of this, Charlie looked at Claire and said softly, "Don't worry, you will leave everything here to my husband." Claire looked at Charlie and just cried. After crying for a moment, he choked and said, "Charlie, why are you so stupid? Didn't you come here to die in vain?" Charlie smiled indifferently, and said, "Do you know? Many people in Orus Hill say that your husband is a real dragon on Earth. How can you die so easily?" Ha 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 ha. Junwei Gao seemed to hear the big joke and blurted out, "Charlie, you are the real dragon on Earth? I think you are a real bug on Earth. You are a ridiculous bug in my eyes. I can crush you with my toes." Charlie looked at him coldly and said lightly, "The surname is Hai. The grievances between men should be resolved in private by men. What is the ability to kidnap women? If you are a man, put Claire and my mother-in-law away. You want to kill or slash me, or whatever." Junwei Gao sneered and said, "What you think is so beautiful? Do you think I can kill you to relieve my hatred? Tell you, before I kill you, I will sleep with your wife Claire in front of you. I will also use Claire's cell phone to register you with and post the video online. Let the world know that you Charlie was cocked before death." With that, Junwei Gao gritted his teeth and said, "By the way, the video name will be Super Smelly Popper." Junwei Gao hates Charlie for his bones, but killing him is really not enough to relieve his hatred, so he plans to register for an online video site with Claire's mobile phone number, and then upload the video to the internet. Anyway, it is impossible for others to him because the phone will never be traced to him. That way, even if Charlie died, the Green Hat video about him would continue to circulate. Killing him personally, and seeing him die, poked in the backbone, mocked, and mocked by others. This is the coolest thing. Charlie looked at Junwei Gao at this time, sneered, and said, "If you really want to register a video for me, the name of the post should be called Dragon Son-in-Law. Oh, by the way, remember to use a dragon as my avatar. This is in line with my temperament." Junwei Gao smiled contemptuously. I'll just obey you, and you will not forget to pretend when you are about to die. Charlie said indifferently, it is you, not me, who will die. Jianjun Gao frowned, pointed his gun at Charlie's forehead, gritted his teeth and said, boy, pretend to be forceful? Believe it or not, I will kill you with one shot now. Charlie sneered and said word by word, I do not believe it. Oh shush, T. Seeing that Charlie didn't pay much attention to him, Jianjun Gao sneered, and said, you really are so pretending. Good. Since you like to pretend much, I will let you taste the pain in the world today. Phi will first take away your root. Junwei Gao hurriedly said to the side, Dad, don't rush to hack his roots. I still want to take a picture of his infatuation with his mother-in-law. Or let's interrupt his hands and feet first and play him slowly. Okay. Jianjun Gao grinned and said, interrupt his hands and feet, and then let him show a live broadcast. Elaine and Claire were pale in shock, and Jianjun Gao had aimed his gun at Charlie's thigh. He looked at Charlie and sneered, this is the price you pay for provoking my son. After that, he pulled the trigger. At this time, Charlie quietly let out 2 true energy from his hands, causing Claire and Elaine to fall asleep deeply. When Jianjun Gao saw these 2 women asleep instantly, he was shocked and blurted out, what's the matter? These 2 women are scared? Almost. Junwei Gao said angrily, what AFC King disappointment. I want them to watch Charlie being interrupted.